Next up, we have Anders Carlson. Go ahead and get your questions in the chat. First one will be for Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Anders, could you talk about the team vibe going into the first game? You can remember back to last preseason with all the uncertainty about whether you'd actually have a whole season, how things are different or the same.
Yeah, no, I think as a team, as y'all can all imagine, we're extremely excited to be playing, but more importantly, we're extremely excited to be playing in a packed out stadium. I think that's something, we loved playing football last year and we do it to play football, but there's nothing like having the environment, the fans, having your family there is even really important too. So I think all the guys are pumped. We're ready to go.
Next question for Jason Caldwell.
Anders, last year was very different. Oscar Chapman had to come in and kind of deal with that on the fly. How much more have you seen out of him, and what are his strengths, winning that starting job?
Yeah, he's crushing it. He's got great work ethic, and I think that's something you see in every player, whether they're a specialist or not, just the development and growth. They might have the same physical attributes, but mentally they're growing. And I've definitely seen that in him, being a lot more deliberate about his practice, and it should pay off. And I'm cheering for him every punt he has.
You guys don't, obviously kicking and punting are different. How much have you helped him though in kind of that transition, being one of those older guys?
Yeah, I mean I've done what I can. He's a great specialist too, just like me though. So he's handled a lot of his business on his own, and he's learned his own way. But I think we as a group entirely, all the specialists help each other out just by motivating each other, maybe getting some film, helping each other out, just talking about ways to get better.
Next question from Jordan Hill.
Anders, how happy are you with how you kicked in those scrimmages, and what kind of confidence does that give you going into the game?
Yeah, it was good to be in Jordan Hare. I think we had a few scrimmages. But more than anything, I just like kicking in the stadium. I think, it gives you a different visual. I know only half our games are in there, but I love kicking and seeing visuals that I'll have on game day. Sometimes here at practice it can get a little repetitive, so we'll try to skip over the stadium and get those visuals as much as we can. But pretty happy overall.
Next question for Jeff Spiegel.
Anders, there's been so much talk about athletes and mental health and all of that. And shoot, kickers are, under probably some of the most pressure of anybody on the football field. How do you kind of, keep that balance and kind of keep strong, from a mental health standpoint as you go through a pressure-filled year and with every pressure-filled kick?
I like to keep it light. I think, like you said, it can be a challenge at times, but this is what you signed up for, and I think the good Lord has blessed me with this job, so I like to keep it light. When I'm on the field, I'm doing my work, trying to do everything I can to get better, but when I'm off the field, I'm enjoying just being with the guys, enjoying my life, and not worrying about things I can't control, so just controlling the controllables. And I love the TV show in the background, by the way.
Follow-up from Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Anders, can you talk about how much you guys have worked on kickoff coverage in preseason, and have you guys actually had live kickoffs where you had to tackle the return guy?
Yes, sir. We've done all the way up to tag tempo, so basically live, except for not taking them to the ground. And we worked that basically every time we scrimmaged. So that was good work for both the kickoff and the kickoff return teams. We've worked that several times, almost up to 10 now. So I think we're ready to go for Akron.
Are you guys putting a lot of starters on that group as far as coverage units?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I think I was in here about 2 weeks ago, and I talked about how special teams is a priority on our team, and that comes from the head coach himself. So, when you look at our big four special teams, we have starters on every single one, making big plays, and that's how it should be. So.
Next question for Jeff Shearer.
Anders, Auburn put out a video a couple days ago that highlighted your snapper and your holder, and I know that maybe that's not the same group that you had your earlier, your freshman and sophomore years, but to have a clean operation, how vital is their performance in that?
Yeah, no, I want to give a shout out to Jacob Quattlebaum and Jackson McFadden and all the other guys that are working specialist wise, but just for trying to perfect everything they do every day. Y'all saw the videos 7 in a row, and that wasn't like broken up reps. That was 7 after another, and it's impressive, and it brings me a lot of confidence when you feel like the two guys in front of you are a working machine. You can count on them. So, yeah, I just want to give them a shout out. They're doing awesome.
Next question for Brian Matthews.
Yes, Anders, I know your brother got a touchdown during his career here. Is that something that you'd like to have, over him or in addition to him?
Yeah, we'll see. I've tried to mention that to Coach. That should be, senior year would be a good thing to go out on, but we'll see what situations pop up. We'll see. I'll keep pushing it though.
Got time for 2 more. Next, Bennett Durando.
Hey, Anders, you mentioned earlier in fall camp that you were really trying to nail down just consistency and repetition on shorter kicks. I'm curious if you've been sort of working on stretching your range at all too, and how far you feel comfortable with kicking from right now.
Yeah, I'm always trying to stretch my range, improve. We've backed it up a decent bit in practice recently. I think we've been back to 55 a couple times here recently, but that's something I like to work on my own as well. See if I can test my boundaries, get up to 60 sometimes. If there's a little wind behind me, but it really doesn't. 3 points is 3 points. I'm trying to make every kick, so I lock on to those short ones that I'm probably going to get in a game more likely than those 60-yarders. But obviously, you got to do a little both. So.
And our last question will be for Steve Moulton.
Jeff asked my question earlier, so I'm going to add, so what kind of favorite Sesame Street moment do you have since you went there earlier?
That's funny. So this is a funny thing about me growing up. We didn't really have a TV for a while. My dad was all about just being outside and playing sports. And the biggest thing is we wanted a dog. So he told us we'd have a TV growing up for a while that we could have the dog finally. So I didn't really grow up watching Sesame Street, so I couldn't tell you. I had to look for a while to even see what show that was, but I'll watch it and I'll let you know.
All right, that'll do it for Anders. Thank you, Anders. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.